नरं सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter number 14. Yesterday we heard that sometimes in this material forest there is a whirlwind that blinds the living entity. A person who is walking in the forest, the merchant is blinded by the whirlwind because the dirt or the dust that is flying in the air will shield the living entity to see what is beneath that. In a similar manner, a living entity being embraced by a woman or by lying in the lap of a woman, a living entity is completely blinded. He is in complete ignorance, covered by the lusty desires, and thus he will not follow the proper rules that are explained or put forth in the scriptures, and he will be forgetful of what vows he had taken previously, and he will also be not able to see that the demigods and the superiors are witness to what we are doing. He will be completely ignorant of all these facts, being covered by the desires of lust. And sometimes in this material world, after facing so many troubles, so many miseries, experiencing so many miseries, he will somehow realize sometimes that all this endeavor is futile. This material world is only a place of miseries. Sometimes he will come to this understanding, but because his identification with the body is not gone yet, very soon this understanding or the realization will be finished, and again he will get back to his previous ways of earning money in a illegitimate way, So here, yesterday we heard an example of Corona. During the times of Corona, everyone had an experience. Everything is false. No, we are seeing that everything can be finished in a flash. What is the goal of life? Who is going to save? There is one incident that has come during the times of Corona. I think he is of which country is it? I think it is Italy or someplace. I think Italian. Very old man, 90 plus age. He was, you know, in the hospital for I think 1 month or 2 months during the times of Corona. He was, detected with, diagnosed with Corona, and he was in the hospital for more than a month. And then ultimately he got cured. Even at that age, he was cured. And then he was happily coming out of the hospital. At that time, the hospital authorities, he gave a bill. At the time of your discharge, they'll give you a bill, right? You have to pay this much to get discharged from the hospital. And he saw that most of the bill, that bill amount was very, very huge amount. It was huge amount. He saw the bill and he started crying. He started crying seeing the bill. So the doctors and the nurses, they, tried to pacify him. Okay, if you cannot pay it fully, just you can do it in, what do you call, EMIs or, installments. In installments you can pay. But he didn't stop crying. He cried for a quite long time. And then after he is completely calmed down, he said that, for so long I have been taking oxygen without even considering how much bill I have to pay. Just for 1 month I was in the hospital and I had been given oxygen, and for 1 month I got such a huge bill to pay. For the rest of my 90 years I had been inhaling oxygen without even thinking or worrying that who is supplying it, and if he stops the supply, what will happen to me. Immediately that kind of consciousness came in him. It's very, very rare. Not everyone gets that consciousness. We take it easily. Okay, it's okay. It's one of the facts of the life. That's all it happens. And just accept what it comes to you. We take it so easily, but that man deliberated so deeply that I had inhaled so much oxygen for 90 years. For 1 month my bill is so much. For 90 years what would have been my bill? So the thing is, sometimes in the living entity, in the due course of time, he is kicked. Sometimes he is kicked in the material world. He is endeavoring so much, but he is not meeting with any success. So he will, sometimes realize that, oh, this place of only troubles, and my endeavors are only futile. But because his, attachment to the body is not gone yet, very soon he will forget about this and then get into the business of earning money, or, what he understood as a process of miseries and troubles, he would take to the same path again because of his identification with the body. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in the commentary, এখানে কখনও ক্রমপূর্বক, কখনও ক্রম উল্লঙ্ঘন করতঃ, কখনও বা পুনরুক্তির দ্বারা যে ব্যাখ্যা করা হইয়াছে তাহা দোষাবহ নহে. Now in this material forest, the Sukadeva Goswami is explaining to Parikshit Maharaj about the forest of material existence. Now he is telling that during this process of explanation, sometimes a gradual process is followed, chronology is followed. Sometimes I am not following any chronology, or sometimes the chronology is not being followed. Wavered, sometimes, he's talking about, realization of the self, and sometimes he's telling that, the associate with the women, and sometimes approaching what do you call, a rich merchant, sometimes talking about. So there is no proper order in which this has been described. And sometimes certain things are being repeated. The same thing, whatever has been told in verse number 4 is being repeated in verse number 8. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that even though such repetition or jumbling of the order is seen, it is not to be mistaken. There is no defect in this explanation. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is clearly explaining that why are you not following one order? Okay, this, then like if you go from here to Chaitanya Math, you will say first you will get Nandanacharya Bhavan. So explain about Nandanacharya Bhavan. Then you go further up, then you will find ISKCON. Okay, there is this ISKCON, and then from there you go further up. Then there is another Math. Then there is another Math. Like that, there is a chronology. There is an order. Why don't you follow the order? Why are you describing Nandanacharya Bhavan, and then after that Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, and then Gopinath Gaudiya Math, and then again going to ISKCON? Why are you not following the order? Or why are you describing the same things repeatedly? So here it is told there is no defect in this, there is no mistake in this. Why? महाटवीर सकल पथई सरल करा संभव नहे, अर्थात आका बैका गलियु आछे. He is telling, in a forest there are no straight roads. The roads are crooked, curved. Some road leads to some other road, and there are branching roads. There are so many confusing roads in the forest. So you should not consider that why certain things are being repeated. The same thing you may encounter. It's not necessary that if you go in this path only then there is tiger. In this path there is no tiger, there is nothing like that. Tiger you can face in any direction, isn't it? So there are certain repetitions. There is no defect in it because there is a forest. There is a forest after all. In the forest there is no nicely laid road or nicely nice path where you can say, oh, this leads to this only. There are so many sub paths. There are so many crooked, curved paths in this forest. Therefore, there is no defect in this. এই হেতু এখানে নিজ প্রৌঢ়ি ঔৎসুক্য বা সামর্থ্য পরিহার পূর্বক যথাস্থিত ব্যাখ্যা করা হইতেছে. Therefore, here no one should try to apply their over enthusiasm. Oh no, this is missing, we should talk about this first. No, we should not get into this or samarthya or eligibility. Oh, I would have explained it little nicely, or I can put it better because Sukadeva Goswami did not explain in the right path, so let me explain in the right. No, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that all eligibilities or over enthusiasms in trying to explain is to be calmed, is to be controlled, and he is telling that I am also giving explanation only as per the descriptions mentioned here. These are in this particular chapter, it is an expansion of the previous chapter basically, because Rahugana's instructions are finished, means Bharat's instructions to Rahugana are finished. Now it is Sukadeva Goswami who is asking Parikshit Maharaj who is asking Sukadeva Goswami that please explain in little more detail. Now there verse number 4 is being taken and explained here. Probably after that verse number 10 is being explained here. But of this there is no nothing wrong in doing that, is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling. Okay. मरीचि तोयान्यभिधावति क्वचित्, यही वाक्येर विश्लेषण क्वचित् इत्यादि. सकृद अवगत विषय वैतथ्यः, একবারও অবগত হইয়াছে বিষয় সমূহের বৈতথ্য অর্থাৎ নিষ্ফলতা যাহা কর্তৃক তিনি, তাহা হইলেও মরীচিকার জলতুল্য সেই সকল বিষয়ের প্রতি পুনঃ পুনঃ মানুষ প্রধাবিত হয়, কারণ পরাবিধ্যানেন দেহের প্রতি অভিনিবেশবশতঃ তাহার স্মৃতি ভ্রষ্ট হইয়াছে। Now in a forest, in a desert, a deer is seeing that there is a water body, and he goes to the water body, he approaches that place thinking it to be water, and then he is mistaken. Oh, there is no water here. Then he thinks there is water there again. He is running to that place to find that there is no water at that place also. In spite of having experienced that there is no water number of times, he will still not give up. He sees, oh no, I was mistaken previously, I thought water is here. No, water is there, I have to go there. In this manner, he is continuing to run after the water, thinking that there is water in the desert. In a similar manner, the living entity is experiencing once or twice or more than these number of times that, oh, this material world is full of troubles, full of miseries. In this material world, all my endeavors are useless. At some part of everyone's life, everyone would have realized this. Nobody can say no to this. Even a non-believer of God, a greatest atheist, even he would have experienced this, that there are troubles in this material world. You see, existence of troubles indicates there must be another land existing where there are no troubles. We have to understand that existence of negativity indicates the presence of positivity. Always. Happiness, distress. These two things are there. The very presence of happiness indicates there is also distress. The very presence of distress indicates there must also be happiness. But what is a happy world and what is a distressful world? That is what we have to understand. Negative means there is positive. Positive means there will be negative. In this material world, it is there. Not only in this material, general existence I am telling. Existence of non-eternity is indicating that there must be something eternal existing. Otherwise, non-eternity would not have come. There is eternity, that is why non-eternity. Isn't it? The non-eternity is coming from eternity. Do you understand the point? So, non-eternity means there is eternity. No happiness means there is happiness. There is no happiness here, it does not imply that there is no happiness anywhere. There is happiness somewhere, but here there is no happiness. This everyone would have experienced, or at least if we apply the brain, oh, there is misery in this world, or there is lot of trouble, there must definitely be a place where there is happiness. Otherwise, why a living entity is endeavoring to get happiness? Maybe I am not happy now, I will get married, maybe I will get happy. He is searching for happiness always. Why? Because there is something called as happiness, and certainly all the living entities are happy by nature. Sat Chit Ananda. Ananda is the nature of the soul. No one can deny that. We are searching for Ananda means we are an Ananda principle, but currently we are not having that Ananda, therefore we are searching for it. What do we search for? I don't have any money in my pocket. Will I search for money? Where did I lose money? I don't have any pocket in my money. In my purse. Oh, I just said the opposite. I don't have any money in my pocket. I didn't lose anything. And now when I didn't lose anything, what will I search for? Which means we lost happiness. We are a happy being and we lost that happiness, therefore we are searching for happiness. We are a knowledge principle, but we have become ignorant, therefore we are searching for that knowledge. Where can I get that knowledge? Nobody wants to remain fool. Nobody wants to remain as a fool. Everyone wants to be intelligent, or at least to be called as intelligent, even though he is a fool from inside. He will pose himself as an intelligent person, because every living entity by nature is chit, is a knowledge principle, and we are searching for living. Means we don't want to die, means that we are a principle who in principle won't die. We are an object, we are an entity in principle will not die. That is why we are searching for a place where we are trying to counter against death always. How we can fight with death, which means we are Sat, Chit and Ananda. This is what we are, and we have lost all these things. We have not lost, basically we have misidentified ourselves, therefore it looks that we have lost this. So we have to search where we have lost. Where did we lose? Forgetfulness of the Supreme Lord is the cause of all this. There is an existence of a land where there is Ananda, only bliss is existing there. Now deer is seeing that there is water because the deer has an experience of water before there is water. Otherwise he would not know that is water. Do you understand the point? Because he already has an experience of the water, he is seeing reflection in the desert and thinking that it is water. If he had no experience of water ever, how could he even recognize that it is water body? Similarly, we all had the experience of Ananda, but the thing is that we have identified ourselves as body or the mind or belonging to this material world, and therefore now we are thinking that, oh, here there is happiness, like a deer in the forest, in the desert. Oh, here there is Ananda. We are going there and we are getting burnt. Oh, there is Ananda there. We are going further and then we are facing Purudukka Dukkham, we are getting, misery after misery, misery after misery. But still, even after experiencing that there is no water here, the deer does not give up the effort. In a similar manner, the living entity also, even though experiences that, oh, it is troublesome, oh, there is no actual bliss here, but still, because he is like a deer is, is suffering from thirst, he is searching for water. We are also identifying ourselves with the body, misidentification. This thirst of material happiness is keeping us hunting for pleasure, even though we have experienced that there is no pleasure here. Tayaiva sei vibhranshito smritir jannai, because of forgetfulness of the Lord, or because of the forgetfulness of the realization that we had at one point in time. We have forgotten that, oh, there is no happiness. We experienced it. Everyone is experiencing it. Everyone is getting married, and in marriage they think that it's a wrong decision. The worst ever decision I have taken in my life is to get married. At least, if not 100%, at least 60-70% will say this. 20-30% there are successful marriages, I should say. But at least 70% of the people will say that's the most blunderous decision I might have taken in my life. But still nobody is stopping from getting married. They are hearing this, they are seeing the experience, but still they are getting married. Why? Because this knowledge only remains for some time, but because of our attachment to the body or identification with the body, we very soon forget it. अर्थात स्मृति भ्रंश हुआ बार बार विषय प्रति धावित होइया थाके. Like a dog is lying in front of one house. In India it happens, I don't know it happens in the West or not, because we have so many dogs on the street. So the dog comes and sits in front of the house and he is barking and doing unnecessary things. So the person from inside, he is coming and then pelting the dog. Like in the Samadhi Mandir, so many times the dog comes, and we are after the dog to chase him out. He goes out, but not long after he'll come in again. He knows that somebody is there, he is going to beat me, or I just got hurt. He will not mind. He experienced some pain, but still he will come again. So it is said, we say, just as a what do you call, as an event, that dog is sitting lying down. Sometimes you see dog is sitting and lying down, and he's in a very deep thought process with his tongue outside. He's thinking, oh, I shall never ever go to this place again. This person is repeatedly beating me, he's throwing stones at me, I'm getting troubled repeatedly, so I shall not go to this house again. He's sitting and he's contemplating like this. But soon we see that after the dog gets up from the after lying, gets up, and then he wags his tail and then shakes his body. So he shakes all the thoughts he had made during all the resolutions he had taken while he was relaxing. He had taken so many resolves. No, I will not do this, I will not do this. But after he stands up, he shakes the body and all the thoughts are dropped here. Let us do what we have done. So, in a similar manner, the living entity, when he gets such a chastisement or severe blow from Maya, he thinks that, oh, this is very bad, but only to not last long. It only lasts for some time. Immediately he becomes forgetful and runs after the material happiness. बार बार विषय प्रति धावित हो जाता है. Repeatedly he will do that, not once, twice, thrice. Repeatedly he will do that. क्वचिद उलूक झिल्ली स्वनवद अति परुष स्वनवदपि स्वनदति परुष रभसाटोपम प्रत्यक्षम परोक्षम वा रिपुराज कुलनिर्भात्र सितेनाति व्यथित कर्णमूल हृदय. कखनो उल्मुक ओ झिल्लीगणेर शब्देर न्याय कठोर वाक्य प्रयोग करिते उत्साह विशिष्ट हइया गर्व भरे शत्रुकुल ও রাজগণ সাক্ষাতে বা অসাক্ষাতে যে ভর্ৎসনা করেন তাহাতে তাহার কর্ণশূল ও হৃদয় বেদনা উপস্থিত হয়. See, in the forest there are also certain other insects. Have you seen cricket? Cricket sometimes is not seen. It only you can understand by the noise and by the sound it makes. In the night, the crickets, they make very harsh sounds, very difficult to hear. You don't see them. And there are also owls, the bats. They also make kind of a sound. So in this forest of material existence are also these owls and the crickets. They make sound. Sometimes some are seen, sometimes they are not seen. They are compared to the enemies and the ruling class, the kingly, or the ministers. They are shouting at you, yelling at you, oh, you have not paid your taxes, you owe me so much. And the enemies, you rascal, you stupid, you. Sometimes, there are so many persons in this material world who, in the form of either ministers or in the form of our enemies, they use so many harsh words, either directly or indirectly, that are very, very difficult to hear. They are called as karna shula. Like, the ears are pierced with, shula means like a sharp edged thing. The eyes are being pierced with it. Or hrid vedana, that will actually disturb the heart also. In India, we had few years ago money demonetization. When there was a money demonetization, it was a heartbreak for many. After that, just few months ago, it was heard that 2000 notes are also being banned very slowly. Before September particular date, you need to deposit in the bank, and on a day, only this much amount can be can be deposited, and each person can hold only this much. That was another heartbreak. Soon after I heard that a big bags of 2000 rupees were left here and there on somewhere in the backside of the village or somewhere in the temples or like that. Because hard earned money, if the government comes to know this is a money that has been earned by illegal ways and stored, and if the government comes to know, then even his white money is finished. Therefore, he is very careful. So all these things, the ministers or any decisions of the government or our enemies, there are also enemies who leak our weak points, isn't it? Oh, this person has so much, you have to go and do a raid in this house. Some information goes to income tax department from our enemies, and go and raid this particular place. So all these things, there are also what Sukadeva Goswami is telling is that in this material world there are also people like this whose words are very, very difficult to hear. अदृश्य जिल्ली स्वनेन अदृश्य जिल्लीर कठोर शब्देर द्वारा इत्यादिर व्याख्यान क्वचित उलूक इत्यादि अति पुरुष रभसा टोपं अति कर्कश जे रभस उत्साह से हेतु आटोप बोलिते संभ्रम जेरूपे হয় সেরূপ শত্রুকুলের ভর্ৎসনার দ্বারা মানুষের কর্ণমূল ও চিত্ত অতিশয় পীড়া বোধ হয়. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is just reiterating what has been mentioned in the verse. He is telling that these owls and the crickets in the forest of material existence, they are compared to the enemies and the ministers who use very harsh words that are not so palatable to hear, and nor are they happy in the heart. Their heart is disturbed and the ears are felt like pierced by hearing to these tough chastisements of these persons. What it means is that in this material world, padam padam yat vipadam, at every step there is danger. There is danger at every step. You cannot say that, oh, I am happy now, I am peaceful now, or there is nothing to trouble me now. There is no time, one can say. स यदा दुग्ध पूर्व सुकृतस्तता कारस्कराद्य पुण्य द्रुमलता विशोदपाद वधुभयार्थ शून्य द्रविणान् जीवन मृतान् स्वयं जीवन म्रियमाण उपधावति. जीव पूर्व संचित पुण्य फल भोग करिया विष तिंदुक प्रवृत्ति अपवित्र वृक्ष लता ओ विषयकुलतुल्य ऐहिक ओ पारत्रिक उभय अर्थ शून्य धन के आश्रय करे एवं ताहार निमित्त स्वयं म्रियमाण हइया जीवन मृत धनीर निकट धावित হয়. क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकम विशन्ति. We are performing so many good activities, so-called religious activities, pious activities, thinking that we will attain higher planetary worlds. We can enjoy the pleasures, wealth, name and fame, etc. If we do good activities, we get these in return. So, but kshine punyam, but once that the results of the good activities is finished, exhausted, martilokam vishanti, again one has to fall down to this material world. Means whatever pious deeds we do will not last for a long time. In a similar manner, Whatever amount of wealth, whatever amount of property that one has stored as a result of previous good deeds, when it gets exhausted, ultimately it will get exhausted, isn't it? Nobody can stay rich for lifetime. Sometimes there are ups and downs. You may say, oh, there is a rich person, but the thing is, death is an end of everything. At the time of death, everything is finished. Again, the next birth he has to start from zero balance. So the thing is that a person who has exhausted all the good activities in the current life, he will again take shelter of some other activities. Oh, okay, my result of the good activities, the fruits of the good activities are finished, therefore I shall somehow try to gain more wealth. So, in this forest of material existence, it is said that there are poisonous trees, there are creepers, and also impious trees. And Vishakupa, the wells in the forest, there is a well, there are trees, there are creepers. Sometimes living entity takes shelter of these things. Some animal is behind him, so he has to take shelter of a tree or something like that. Someone to hide, sometimes to hide, he is taking help of the creepers or the bushes, etc. But these bushes, the creepers, they are called as apavitra, impious trees and poisonous wells, etc. He is seeking the shelter of all these things only for the sake of being saved. He is thinking that if I have money, if I have wealth, if I have property, I will be saved. Therefore, in this material world, living entities are taking shelter of impious persons. The impious trees are compared as the impious persons. In the forest, there are impious trees. They are not good trees. They emanate some poison, or that shade is not good, something like that. And there are poisonous wells also, and the creepers are also not good. But just like in order to gain something, we take out of it. I am hungry and I want to eat something, some fruit of some tree, but they are not nice fruits, but I am very hungry, so I am taking shelter of it, but ultimately it will only spread poison in me or spread some disease in me. In a similar manner, here it is told that in order to gain wealth in this material world, a living entity is approaching Jivanmrita Dhani, a wealthy person. Who is Jivanmrita? He is a dead man. Dead man means he has no heart. Merciless person. He is, he cannot see that, oh, here is a person in trouble, let me help him. He doesn't have. So we are approaching people, or we are taking shelter of those people. We are serving those people, merciless people, in order to gain wealth. Because whatever wealth has been given by my forefathers is exhausted. Now I have to get wealth. Therefore, I am working as a slave under those merciless masters. That is the meaning of it. In this material world, people are running for wealth. Vidyara Gaurave Brahmi Deshe Deshe Dhana Uparjana Kari. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, Vidyara Gaurava, I have got some knowledge, I have got some education from good universities and colleges. Therefore, I cannot work as a laborer. I am a doctorate. How can I work as a laborer or anything like that? So Vidyara Gaurave Brahmi Deshe Deshe. If I don't get job in my native place, let me go to another country. We see many Indians, they are not taking up job, little better jobs here, but these persons are, running taxis in the Western countries. They are working in the petrol pumps. I know so many persons. They can get those jobs very easily here. Those jobs are available here also. But here, no, he will not take up those jobs. He will go there to run a taxi. He can get a better job here as a clerk, at least sitting in an office. He doesn't have to run on the streets whole day, searching for who will sit in my car, who will give me money today. He can sit in an office room as a clerk and then work. But Vidyara Gaurav, no, I am so educated. I am a PhD holder. How can I run a taxi in India? I can run a taxi in America. Yes, it's better, but not in India. So we are taking shelter of the merciless masters, and Mriyaman Hoya, he is losing his life in this process. So here in this forest of material, in the forest, there are certain trees and the creepers whom we think are going to give us shelter. We are thinking, oh, there is a well, I can fetch water from it, but that's only wish. That's only a poison inside that. But still in a forest one is taking shelter of those. In a similar manner, a person being, having spent all the property, all the money that he had attained from the forefathers, whatever, he is now taking shelter of the persons who are merciless in this material world. Apunya vrikshan, apunya vriksher nai adharmikader seva kore. Those who are irreligious, a living entity serving those irreligious. If you are not finding a job, why don't you come and join the mutt? Come and join the mutt. No, that they will not do. They will, run here and there to all the useless, merciless masters who are irreligious, but that person cannot come and take shelter. There was one person in Calcutta, at the time there was a drought. There was a severe drought, and there was no food available. But the Gaudiya Mutt was eating nicely. Everyone outside, there was no food, nothing available, but in the Gaudiya Mutt there was no such problem. One Maharaj saw that this person was begging on the streets, being kicked out from every house. So this sadhu became little, merciful on this person and told, why are you doing all this? Just for some morsel of food. You come to the mutt, stay there. You don't have to do anything, just chant Harinam. Hear Harikatha, that's all. You don't have to do anything else. Just come. He thought the proposal to be very nice. Wow, very good. I don't have to do anything. He stayed in the mutt for some time. And this person was previously attending Aarti, was, sitting for Harikatha, but slowly this person stopped attending all these things. So Maharaj asked one Maharaj, and after coming to Gaudiya Mutt, he has become little stout. Earlier he was like this, very, very lean, he had no proper food to eat. So he became nice, nicely built body he has got. And that sadhu asked, I am not seeing you in Harikatha. I am not seeing you in Aarti. I only see you during the time of Prasad. What is the matter? Are you all right? Then that person replied, oh, Prasadam is very nice here. But if I hear Harikatha, I am getting headache. Therefore, I am coming for Prasad, not for Harikatha. Severe headache if I hear Harikatha. So that Harikatha is a headache for him. But soon to be seen that this person no longer could stay in the mutt. He couldn't stay in the mutt for a long time. After some days he went out. Why? Because without Harikatha, if we are not hearing Harikatha, then we cannot, fix our mind in what we are doing in the process of Krishna consciousness. We cannot fix our mind, and then it is very difficult to stay in the company of sadhus, because we have not realized the importance of the sadhus. We have not understood the importance of the holy name and service to the Lord and the devotees. Therefore, it's not possible. So, if hearing Harikatha is a headache, then we cannot make any progress. Harikatha is the life. Pranache jar se hetu prachar. Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had said this, that, not Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but, it is written in the glorification of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur by Srila Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. प्राणाचे जार से हेतु प्रचार. Because there is life, there is preaching. Without life, lifeless preaching has no value. Life means Sharanagati. Sharanagati means devotion. So, we will stop here. Many persons are taking shelter of irreligious persons, illegitimate persons for the sake of money. We will go to the purport tomorrow a little leisurely. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindubhya eva cha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गांधर्विका गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय. परमाराधितम पतित पावन स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी श्री गुरु महाराज की जय. नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति दयित माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जगत गुरु श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री श्री रूपानुग गुरुवर्ग की जय. श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ षड गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय. श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन वेदव्यास महामुनि की जय. जय श्री श्री परीक्षित महाराज एवं सुखदेव गोस्वामी की जय. समागत भागवत श्रवणकारी भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल.